Hello, welcome, and I hope you're doing well. I mean, you could have been anywhere in the world, and you chose to be here with us, and I greatly appreciate that. So today we're going to talk about Rebel Ridge, which is on Netflix, came out earlier this year. But before we get into that, and we collectively be critics about this, go ahead and hit the subscribe, like, repost, put a comment in there how you feel about this. What was the rating? Your first impressions, your pros and cons. What should we be watching next? Television, film of all kinds, and things of that nature. So, without further ado, again, welcome to the Critics Collective, and we're going to go ahead and talk about Rebel Ridge. Now, let me read what IMDb has. It has a former Marine grapples his way through a web of small town corruption when an attempt to post bail for his cousin escalates into a violent standoff with local police chief, with the police chiefs. I mean, it's technically everybody out there, but I mean, I get what they're saying, but it's accurate. Lingo would approve that this one is accurate. So Jeremy was the director on this one, also the key writer on this one, and this one stars Don Johnson. Yeah, back in the day, Don Johnson, AnnaSophia, and Aaron Pierre. Now, Aaron, trust me, if you're a guy and you don't know who he is, I get it, cool, but the ladies know. Oh, the ladies know. They look at his eyes and they say, I've seen him in other things. And you have. He's been around, and you will continue to see more of him as he voices Mufasa in the upcoming Lion King saga Mufasa. And you'll see him in various other projects because they have just going to call it what it is. They've got a small bench of guys that they kind of throw into who's next. And there was one recently that was in a certain universe, then that person's on the bench right now for a bit. And, respectfully, all of them deserving to have that limelight, but it's going to be Aaron's time to shine. You're going to see him all over the place, and for good reason. My first impression with this is really, other than watching him in previous things, I knew that, hey, look, he can act. I liked how it kind of had a vibe, kind of like Walking Tall back in the day type of thing. And so I was ready to watch it. I think the only thing I kind of had, any about was, man, how are they going to do this? I feel like it's going to be something with tension dealing with race, and I'm all for it. I don't want to see any more trauma crap, to be honest, unless it's educational without it, if that makes sense. I don't know if you get it, but I, much like when I'm playing video games, I care about the story. If I can get into the story in the universe you gave me, I don't really care. I don't care about the person, the color of their skin, their background, religion, spirituality, all that other stuff doesn't matter. It falls away. And if you think of some of the really, really good movies over the decades, that's what it was. The director or the actors gave you something and you walked away from it saying, wow, what a good story. And you didn't pick all that other stuff. So after, going in the first impressions, I'm going to go ahead and go with my pros and cons. So we always start at the bottom. Now we're here, and then we work our way to the top with the pros. The only con that I really have for this is this could have been a show. Not could have been an email type of thing. It could have been a show. And the reason why I'm saying it's not really a con is because you really couldn't stretch it out more, because you needed, without spoiling anything, you needed the elements that you had, and a show would have just allowed you to know these characters so much deeper that it would have taken away the surprise and the mystique that you got from watching the development of the characters in about 2 hours time. Now, probably I'm saying that because, and I'll mention it again as a pro, because I enjoyed these characters in the universe they created in the setting so much that I wanted more from them. So it had me thinking about Jack Ryan and Reacher and Cross, and stuff like that. So that's probably why I felt that way. I just wanted more. So that was a con. Now, the pros was the pace and the flow. A lot of times it's hard to get that while you're trying to balance, is this a drama? Is this a thriller? And it did a really good job of it. Now, you can go check out our review on Carry On, which is currently on Netflix as well, came out for the holidays. That, again, you have an hour and 40 minutes for that movie. And I'm not lying to you. My opinion is you have luckily maybe 30 minutes of a thriller in this thriller movie. So go check that review out to get that. But this one had a better flow of sprinkling in the tension, the thrill, and all that other stuff, and kind of got into there. The story, I thought it was a great job of the story that has been told various different ways. I mentioned Walking Tall. and stuff like that, where you were able to get something that was different. I was thinking about like old school late 80s, The Principal, something like that, where you're getting this one man band type of thing. But I thought they did a really good job where they didn't center it strongly about race or maybe a sundown town type of thing. And it allowed you to just see these characters for who they were and pick your side. I thought the casting was great. Don playing, somewhat of a villain, watching that, and you're like, wow, what's really going on here in this little small town. I thought Sophia did a great job. Loved her character, and so I thought directing wise and the flow of it was great with the casting. There is a one shot, a big one shot. I'm not going to tell you when it happens, but you'll see that the camera doesn't switch. It's just it goes through this great elaborate action scene, and it is the icing on the cake for this one. So if you're a fan of Daredevil or even excursion or no ex extraction 1 and 2, I can't wait for the third one and the other spinoffs. If you're a fan of those movies where the scene continues and you get all the bits, all the feasting of this meal that is an action one shot, man, again, I'm thinking about John Wick and the Matrix and other stuff. But let's go ahead and rate this bad boy. So if you've ever been here before, the ratings go from, I don't know, you can check 0 as Venom all the way to the top, which would be Lion King, the 1994 version. And we got some others. Just go ahead and check our collections. But here's our accolades. It lets you know, hey, look, does it give you enough to be above average? Are you below average? And on Rebel Ridge, that came out in 2024. Again, you can find this on Netflix. I'm going to give it a strong 4. I think this would have fit into the 90s. It would have fit into the 80s. It would have fit into the early 2000s, and it currently fits now. It's just really put together well with a really good cast, and it's a movie where Pierre is just going to continue taking off on the various roles he has probably lined up for the next 5+ years. So like I said, I would 100% recommend this. When I say something is, a 4 or a 5, even some of the 3s I'll recommend. This one being a 4, I would 100% recommend this one. Once again, we are happy that you're here. Subscribe, like, follow, put a comment in here of anything like that. Like, I'm just curious, what's your favorite kind of dessert? Me, I'm an old school Dutch apple pie kind of guy, but I love a nice bowl of vanilla ice cream. But what's yours? Put it in the comment. Once again, this is the Critics Collective. Thank you. Well, I want to say a wonderful, wonderful day. I want to say kalikalau, but I'll just say bye.